Hi, my name is Kirsty Chan, and I am the writer and director of my film, Terrarium. What inspired me to write this particular script? Well, I read a quote that is normally attributed to Leonardo da Vinci, which goes, "Art lives from constraints and dies from freedom." So I set myself the constraint of making a 72-second film within 72 hours. While I was looking around my house for inspiration, I found my husband's terrarium. For those of you who don't know what a terrarium is, it is a mini garden housed in a jar or a glass bottle and sealed to create a tiny but fully self-sustaining plant ecosystem. While looking at it, I just couldn't help but think of how people have, throughout history, built structures to physically separate themselves from nature, only to then bring it back into their homes. And I wanted to challenge people to think about the evolution of the relationship between human and nature. And then with the quarantine, my film became more topical. This film was my directorial debut, and my biggest challenge was getting used to this role. I normally prefer working collaboratively, but because I only had 72 hours, I didn't have the time to find a film crew. And I would have preferred, for example, to have a director of photography to exchange ideas on storyboarding or staging certain shots. With that being said, it is definitely much easier to be agile when working with a skeletal crew and cast, and of course that is very important when you're filming with such constraints. With regards to my wishes for what my film can achieve, I would say they are twofold. The first one is, like all other filmmakers, I hope that my film can reach a wider audience and have them relate to it in some shape, way, or form. And because the theme of human versus nature is so universal, I'd love to hear how different cultures interpret my thesis, depending on their relationships with nature. And on a more general level, I hope that my film can inspire people to create more microfilms, and for film festivals like FFTG to accept more microfilms as a submissions category, and just have everyone fall in love with this very minimalistic format. When you don't have the time or perhaps budget, you really can't afford to have distractions from your core message. And I think that's a very beautiful way to tell stories and also to live life. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoy the film.